Governor, you referred to social media as a cancer on Friday. That's an incredibly strong word. Do you believe that social media played a direct role in this assassination?
I believe that social media has played a direct role in every single assassination and assassination attempt that we have seen over the last 5-6 years. There is no question in my mind that cancer probably isn't a strong enough word. What we have done, especially to our kids, it took us a decade to realize how evil these algorithms are, and we're doing everything in Utah, first state in the nation a couple years ago to pass comprehensive reform. Sadly, these most powerful companies on earth are suing us to prevent us from implementing these things.
Well, Governor.
Hey, what's going on, family? It's Tyler from No Picks Podcast.
What up, family? Joe, No Picks Podcast.
All right, so Joe, this conversation basically was about the Charlie Kirk assassination. This was the governor of Utah. He was basically, sharing his thoughts on the role that social media played in Charlie Kirk's assassination. And he was saying that it was a cancer and that it played a vital role in Charlie Kirk's assassination. Sorry, so that's the first clip I wanted to play. There's another clip I want to play, right? And there's the perspective of Pete Buttigieg, of a Democrat, and I want to play both perspectives first, and then I want us to react to it. All right. So that was the governor of Utah talking about the role that
social media played in Charlie Kirk's assassination. Okay.
And this is Pete Buttigieg's perspective on it.
Okay. What you got, Buttigieg?
You heard Governor Cox refer to social media as a cancer. And the question, I think, becomes what to do about it. Do you agree with that assessment? Is social media actually a cancer right now, Mr. Secretary?
Social media is clearly part of the problem in a big way, and it speaks to something that's even bigger than the political polarization of this moment, although I think the internet has played a role. But it's more than that. It's what is it doing to our brains? Look, every time there's one of these killings in a summer that began with the assassination in June of a Democratic lawmaker by somebody with a kill list of Democrats, and is ending this September with the assassination of a conservative figure. And you go back through so many other cases, political and not of violence. There is not a consistent pattern of left versus right among the shooters, but there is a pattern where we see so many of these people are men, usually young men, who seem to spend more and more of their time in dark and twisted corners of the internet. And I think there is a sickness, not just the sickness of somebody who would pick up a gun and shoot someone, but I think a broader societal sickness that, frankly, I think you could see and feel in how many people around America, normal people, not dangerous people, were at a moment when we all should have still been praying for the victim and his family. We're busy online praying for some shred of evidence that the shooter would turn out to be from the other political team. That is not healthy, and that is not a way forward, but that is exactly what the algorithm pushes us to do. And this does seem to be especially acute for young men. Young men right now, statistically, are the group most likely to spend most of their time alone. That is a prescription for a deeper societal level of pain and unraveling that we have got to turn around. We can't go on like this. And I think it's especially important to remember that some of the very same people who are in these conversations online will be perfectly normal offline. That's why we do need to just put down the phone, put down the computer, step out and talk to each other in environments where our humanity comes through.
You heard.
All right. So, hey, what's going on, family? It's Tyler from No Picks Podcast.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Joe, No Picks Podcast.
All right, Joe. So we showed a Republican perspective on what they think that the role of social media played in, let's just say, political assassinations, right? Like without involving anybody specifically. So we had the governor of Utah, and then we got Pete Buttigieg talking about the same thing, and they both seem to come to the same conclusion. What is your thoughts on the role of social media as far as political violence?
I mean, I'm sure that. So, all right. So I know that there are lots of examples of social media fueling hatred, fueling bigotry, fueling political discontent, and fueling acts of violence. Right. So we know that this has happened. We know that it exists. Right. So I'm going to say yes. Social media can be one of the sources, was something that could spur political violence. So I agree with that. But I also agree that a lot of things can. You know what I mean? I grew up being the one, like I played a lot of violent video games growing up. And there were people who were like, violent video games are causing people, causing all these mass shootings or increasing the violence. And I'm like, I don't know. I play video games. I don't feel like going out there and shooting people. You know what I'm saying? Like I listened to a lot of hip hop. Conservatives growing up, when people across the political spectrum were just like, hip hop is making people violent. People is promoting violence in the streets. And I listened to hip hop. I wasn't in the streets. I wasn't violent like that. You know what I'm saying? So like, I guess it depends on the person, but like, I'm not one to just label like an entire genre of music or video games or social media as a cancer and we should get rid of it, or it's the reason that it's the biggest reason why we have this type of political violence. Like, no, bro, there are lots of factors, bro. So I'm not going to be, you know what I mean? So I don't know if I'm articulating myself well enough, but I do agree that for some people, social media can be that. It can be something that's, spurs, that compels them to engage in some kind of political violence. But I also know that if social media wasn't around, people were still going to be doing it. You know what I mean? Nothing's going to change that. Like, Germany didn't have social media when Hitler was doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, there have been assassinations all throughout time before the internet, before the 90s. Like, it's a thing that happens, political violence. So I don't know, bro. I just don't want to blame it all on that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's my first thought, right? What do you think about it? Then we can unpack that, because
right. I mean, I thought it was interesting that both the Republican person and the Democratic person kind of seem to align in this perspective as far as social media being a detriment to society. Personally, I really do believe that social media has been a net negative to society, because all right, so let's take the political perspective for let's take the political perspective. You could take whatever issue that you want to emphasize and follow that community, and then that you being in that echo chamber will give the perspective of most people being in your camp. So then when you hear the other perspective, you're like, yo, these people are the enemy. So I can understand that. Like, I can understand what they're saying when they say that, because it's like you hearing all these people online agreeing with you, and then you're like, oh shit, everybody agrees with me. I must be right. I mean, I must be righteous. So if you hear someone with the opposite opinion, then you're like, yo, you're the enemy. We got to do away with you. So, I mean, because they kept making the association with like algorithms, right? So if you keep following certain things in your algorithm, then it's going to reinforce what you already believe.
right. I mean that's it's I agree that it can't do that, right? I can totally agree with that. I don't want to take it away from political violence, because I'm gonna make sure we stay focused on that, because that's what we're talking about. But an example that I can think of is like red pill content. You have some men who gravitate towards red pill content, and if he's already a misogynist or has issues or has been hurt with women or is bitter, he might fall deeper into those sentiments, into that anger, into that frustration, and maybe lash out at women or a group. You know what I mean? There was that one dude who was literally, I think he did a drive-by. I think he was pissed that he couldn't get access to sex and he couldn't date. I forgot what state it was, but I remember some kid who went around and just basically like off some chick, right? Because he was upset. And he said he was upset because he was, but I just feel like there are radicals in every group, in every line of thinking. But for red pill content, I could see people becoming more either misogynistic if they already were, or maybe becoming misogynistic if they weren't, or basically going into these echo chambers where there's all these hurt people who've been hurt by women or hurt by the game. And now they're, it fuels that anger, so I could definitely see that. I can absolutely see that. And not just that could happen for political violence and political stuff too. Like, I mean, I get what you're saying. What I'm saying is I agree with you. That could happen it could, but like, how do you prevent that from happening though? Because like I said, everyone isn't like that. Me and you, we absorb red pill content. We respect it. We appreciate it. We understand that we need it. We understand the value of it. And we didn't, we're not one of those people. So it's just like, how do you prevent the people who become radicalized? Can you?
I mean, once you and I talked about the Columbine situation, right? And then they said they blamed it on Maryland and Maryland, man, they blamed the whole Columbine situation on Maryland.
On Marilyn Manson. Right. Right.
But I'm like, okay, like I didn't know anything about Marilyn Manson. You know what I mean? I didn't know any. I listened to Eminem, like you said. I listened to gangster rap. It never made me want to do X, Y, and Z. It never made me want to bang bang, shoot them up. I mean, you like you said, it depends on the individual.
It does.
So if you want to like absorb yourself in this content and situation, and then be like, oh, okay, cool, I'm gonna do this. Then that's on you. I don't think it has anything to do with social media as a whole, or the entertainment industry, or the rap game, or the music industry, or the movie industry, right? Like, it's like, but listen, that I say that, but I have a caveat to that.
Okay.
I genuinely do believe that Scarface ruined the hood. The movie Scarface ruined the hood, bro. When I tell you, like, I had a lot of friends growing up that really was watching that movie, idolizing that movie, and thought that they could be the next Scarface.
Yeah.
I feel like the probability of you being Scarface is less than you being LeBron.
Right.
So, like, you know what I mean? So I like, listen, so I bring that up to say, like, yo, like, a lot of people that I grew up with really, really did go hard on the movie Scarface, and they thought that they would be the next Scarface.
Yeah. I could see that. I mean, it's a classic movie though. Like, that's a classic
movie, great movie.
It's classic.
Hispanic cast. Everybody was Hispanic in there, but the black people, we watched it and we was like, yo, we're gonna beat him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there were some individuals who did that. Yes, I know that there were some people. Just like I know, anecdotally, we know people who wanted to be in them streets and wanted to be these gangsters and these mafia bosses, and it's just like, bro, it's a pipe dream, bro. Like, you want to end up in the pen next to the booty warrior. Like, that's usually what happened. They got locked up, incarcerated. But no, I'm with you, bro. And like, we're here at No Picks Podcast, we've always been big on like personal accountability, right? Like, we have an obesity problem in America. What are we gonna do? Ban sugar, ban junk food, ban fast food? No, people should have self-control. You shouldn't want to eat there. You shouldn't be going with your EBT card and buying sodas and tasty cakes and all these high fructose corn syrup products. Like, we have choice. We have agency. People choose to eat crappy food. People choose not to exercise. People choose to do all these things that don't. People choose to smoke cigarettes. Right. People choose to do all these things that F up their health, right? And then somehow the people who are more responsible have to pay for it somehow. We always got to pay for it somehow. But what I'm saying is, we have agency, bro. Like, I'm on social media, or people can be on social media and understand, like, this sounds crazy. Like, even if I'm angry at, say, the Democrats or the Republicans, if I'm in a circle and I'm hearing people getting a little antsy or being like, we about to go storm the Capitol or something crazy, and I'm just like, just an example, I'm gonna just be like, yeah, I might not want to be in this algorithm. I might have to switch something up because somehow my algorithm took a turn, and now I'm in this crazy circle. You know what I mean? Like, you just gotta have enough critical thinking skills to be like, I'm in the wrong company right now. Let me say this real quick, right? So let's end this real quick, right? So let me say this. I was on TikTok the other day. I woke up in the middle of the night. I'm scrolling through stuff, and I just kept coming across my feed was like chicks being like farting, being like, oh, well, I'm at work, and just I'm like, I'm like, why does this shit keep coming up? like I've never liked any of these videos, and they're like, oh, okay, like, oh, well, hey, honey, what you doing over there? Burnt. Like, so they will put the phone. I'll be like, why does this keep coming on my algorithm, bro? Like, I started having to block these women. I'm like, bro, listen, I didn't even know how to block people on TikTok. I had to Google how to block people on TikTok. I had to start blocking people on TikTok because I'm like, yo, the algorithm was women farting on my TikTok. I'm like, I don't want to see this shit. Yeah. Why does this shit keep coming on my fucking algorithm? I started blocking motherfuckers, bro. Like, I'm like, yo, like, I don't understand. Like, I had to get off TikTok for like a day or something because I'm like, I don't know what
they're assuming that I like that I like to watch. But yeah.
No.
I mean, it was disgusting.
Yeah, I feel you. So I'll make my final thought because I know we're trying to wrap it up, right? But my biggest point is that personal accountability. We aren't just going to ban video games or ban hip hop music or ban Scarface or ban things because people have done bad things, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't believe in that. And I do agree that social media is a cancer. I do think that there's pros and cons, but I think that it's done more detriment. It's been a net negative. I agree with you completely on that. And what I will say is, like, I think that cable mainstream media is a cancer. I think that it's extremely divisive. I think that every time something happens, you have, Fox News and CNN and MSNBC saying it's your fault, it's this, it's that, and dividing people and fueling this political violence. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like mainstream media, cable, corporate news is cancerous because that's what's dividing us. That's what's making people hate, immigrants or using them as scapegoats. That's what's making people hate liberals or hate trans people or hate gay people. That's what's making people be mad that Bad Bunny is performing at the Super Bowl. That's what's fueling all of this like cultural division. So I don't know, bro. I think it's bigger than social media. If you're going to go against social media, I'd rather attack the news because everywhere I go, I see news stations, mainstream media on TV fueling political division. So that for me is cancerous. So I don't know. I would start there before I do social media, like the news that we consume every day. But that's just me.
All right. Well, listen, let us know what y'all think, family. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time.
Until next time.